Okay. I'm sitting here with Steve Felix, the owner.
Executive director. It's a nonprofit, so we technically don't have owners.
Okay. First of all, I just want to congratulate you on an upcoming one-year anniversary, July 1st.
Thank you.
And I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions here. The first one is, what was the motivation behind starting an independent theater in Akron, and can you explain some of the origins behind the beginning process?
Sure. Well, we're all film buffs, and we saw a gap for full-time cinema. We'd been doing events at the Akron Art Museum once a month. We just thought the best way to grow was to open a full-time venue. The best way to keep a community together was to have a space that we could do full-time rather than just once a month starting something from nothing over and over again, to just have it consistent.
So your idea is to basically create a community of film lovers,
Right.
So they can come together at this place. Okay, cool. How important is the Nightlight in installing culture back into the heart of Akron?
Well, we hope it's important. We were able to get to this point thanks to partnerships.
Okay.
So I think the real importance would come is when it starts to seed out other organizations and events and leaders. I think that's when we would start to see a real effect. But in terms of content, yeah, I mean, within the film scene, we're close to the only game in town for this sort of independent and foreign film. So I think there's a huge impact on that.
Maybe a step up as far as being the only one. You know, you can be the one that sets the precedent, I guess.
Yeah, we'd like to see it expand, beyond one screen. Cleveland supports 6 screens at least of, not even counting the festival.
Right.
Which has an enormous impact itself, but
Right. Cool.
So yeah.
I noticed you started showing some classic films here coming soon, basically in the end of this month.
Yeah.
What was the motivation behind starting to show some films that perhaps people have already seen or are familiar with?
Well, I think one of the nice things about having a cinema is that you can share a love with people for certain things. Classic films. The introduction to new films is a very important part of the mission, discovery aspect of it. But sharing the enthusiasm for the classics is another big part. And we didn't want to get it in the way of our new film programming. With one screen, we
Kind of limited.
have to strategize. But so that's why we're doing them as a late at Nightlight series.
I think it's a great idea. It's definitely one of my favorite things that I've seen you guys present, and I'll be here a lot more for sure. What makes your theater auditorium stand out above the rest?
We thought a lot about the screen-to-wall ratio. We really tried to maximize the immersive quality of it so that you really have a big sound and visual experience, despite the fact that it's a 52-seat theater.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a great community space because we can speak to the audience. We don't really even have to shout, and it's just kind of a shared experience in there.
Very intimate, almost.
Intimate yet immersive. So that's what we tried to balance anyway. That's the intent.
Okay. Can you give some examples of the various tastes that your snack bar has to offer, in particular your beer palette?
Sure. The guys that talked to you earlier, Corey Sheldon and Jacob Trombetta. Jacob handles the bar and Corey handles the snacks. But yeah, we really, there's so many local options we wanted to feature and bring together in one spot. So yeah, the beers are all Ohio beers, from Cleveland down to Athens with Jackie O's and Great Lakes, Hoppin' Frog, Thirsty Dog. There's one more I'm leaving out, I think.
Well, I didn't know they were all Ohio brews, to be honest.
Yeah,
I knew you had Great Lakes and being a lover of it myself. But
there's a pretty big selection, so you wouldn't necessarily think that they're all from one geographic area.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we don't. I guess it's good that it's not noticed that it's limited to that because there is a huge selection just locally. And the snacks, we just introduced these cake pops from Sugar Love, which is in Cuyahoga Falls, and they're custom made for us. I think it's a new invention of a snack. These little push-up. What do we call? I don't know what you call those things, but they're just basically pieces of cake that you push up, and you don't need a fork to eat them.
Kind of like push pops, basically.
Yeah, they're push pops with cake.
Okay, cool.
So that's the latest thing. But yeah, we have truffles from Sugar Love as well, fresh popcorn. We we just introduced peanuts from the peanut shop. So
Okay.
we get a nice party mix here.
Wow, I didn't know that the local influence was as big behind the bar itself.
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
We have Coke, but that's about the only thing. We have some other sodas that are in the immediate area.
Hey, maybe it's brought from the factory out in Ellet. Who knows? Any films that have sold the best as far as your time opening this in the last year?
We always do well with animated films. We happen to have a Studio Ghibli film right now, and those are always a hit. Kind of cross age group is maybe the nice thing about those, cross demographic. But we also do well with indie horror films like The Babadook. We did really well with Oscar contenders like Whiplash and Birdman.
I was here.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Very good, very good. What kind of special events has the theater hosted, and any special events coming up that you would like to get across?
Yeah, we've hosted a number of special events. First of all, we had a lot of rentals. Like right now, Canopy, the Community Aids Network, is renting a theater. That's what's happening tonight, actually.
Okay.
They're doing a Pride series for the rest of the year. We've worked with Downtown Akron Partnership on various things, like the Akron Art Prize, and the Margaret Clark Corcoran Foundation on the same thing, Akron Art Prize. Let's see. We've had rentals from Torchbearers. The Cleveland Film Festival was here for a day.
Okay.
As part of during their festival, they showed several films here. Or one of their satellite locations, I guess they call it. Or community.
One of the branches.
Yeah, whatever they have a term for it.
Okay.
But in terms of our own events, we do an annual event, which we started doing here last year. It's a scoring event, so we invite musicians from around Akron to score a silent film. So we choose a silent film, we divide it up into 20 sections, a few minutes apiece, 20 or so, and we give each musician a section to put their own music to, and then we put it all together and we watch that film with all the different selections of score from all the area musicians. So that'll be coming up late summer, early fall. We haven't finalized the film yet. Last year we did The Hands of Warlock.
Okay.
And before that we did Cabinet of Dr. Caligari. We try to use expressive silent films. So.
How is something like that judged as far as what the winner is?
We don't have a winner.
Oh, okay.
So that's the beauty of it,
Okay.
perhaps. It's just kind of a shared creative experiment.
Very nice, very nice. That's cool. 2 more questions. Where would you like to see the Nightlight go in 5 years?
I'd like to have more screens. That's a simple, practical answer, but yeah, just more capacity. We tend to sell out on weekends, especially in the fall, winter art house season. So yeah, to be able to not turn away people would be nice. To have, it's a long, I guess 5 years is a pretty good window, but to see, people having careers in either filmmaking or film programming, start seeing people actually, change the direction of their lives because of what they're doing and seeing here in the community, the forums here. I would love to see that really affect people. But yeah, that's kind of a long-term intangible. But
One thing I wanted to elaborate on before I go to the last question, you said that you would like more space. Would that include maybe tearing down more walls or maybe moving the location by some chance?
I feel like more likely would be to add a location. But yeah, there is space here for some expansion at this location. But yeah, serious expansion would probably be at an additional location.
Okay. One question I meant to ask at the beginning, as I just wrote down, which is very important. Were you born in Akron? If not, how much time have you spent here?
I was born in Doylestown.
Okay.
Well, I wasn't born there, but I grew up there. Just 20 minutes south. It's a village. If you're not familiar, but I have lived in Akron proper since 2009, probably.
Okay.
So, yeah, I feel like Akron for sure.
In we'll say 10 words or less, what do you think about the city itself? Like, how do you view it?
I gotta get this right if I have 10 words. Give me a second. Full of possibility and opportunity, and how seriously do I have to take this?
That's all right. We'll say full of possibility and opportunity.
Well, yeah. I mean, what I would like to say is that the partners, like we, as I said before, the Akron Art Museum, Summit Art Space, like it was easy for us to come up.
Okay.
Not easy, but the established institutions are really ready to play ball, and that's what's nice about Akron. I think that's what helps it have opportunity.
Okay. Steve, I want to say thank you for sitting down with me in the double strip, and I will make sure the article gets up within 2 weeks. Thank you very much.